I hated school with a passion, but she forced me to go to community college, and that was the worst thing ever. Like that made me hate life, like borderline suicidal. I just can't stand like having to just sit there and listen to this dumb stuff and listen to some teacher read out a book. So what I did was I would act like I was going to community college, but I would just work on videos in my car and edit and stuff like that. I had straight zeros. And so now the clock had started because once my mom found out, I was screwed.
Were you aware of that? Like, that you're running a risk?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And so I would act like I was going to college that whole time, but I wasn't. And I didn't have enough money to move out. And that was kind of when I was just like 15 hours a day, all in. I was like, I'm fucked if this doesn't work. And I had some videos pop off. I couldn't tell you which ones, but I had a month where I made 20 grand because I just had some videos just do really, really well. And then I came home and I was like, I haven't been going to college, and I moved out the next day. My mom almost had a heart attack because she didn't understand YouTube or anything back then, and she was like, man, this guy's gonna work at McDonald's. I wasted all this time. Like I invested 18 years, and this is what I get.
Where were you living? What part of the country?
North Carolina. That's where I've lived almost my whole life.
And so, how does she feel now?
Oh, she's great.
Is she like
she's beyond happy. Yeah, she loves it. Put her in front of her friends. She loves talking about it. She's great.
I always knew little Jimmy was gonna be a success.
No, she doesn't try to hide it. We would fight all the time. Even in high school, like, I never once studied. I literally wouldn't even take my books home. Like I legit don't think I studied once all of high school at my house. And so we would fight a lot. I didn't have the best grades. And so I would just make videos, and she didn't understand it, especially because back then it was just a whole different world. Like, there wasn't really a thing as a full-time YouTuber and stuff. And so it was a lot of arguments, a lot of drama, but it ended up working out. She's happy.
The thing is, it's like nobody saw this coming, right? So you can't blame her.
Especially me in like the middle of North Carolina in a small town. I had like horrible acne. I'm especially back then, really awkward. It's like no one, like people would have bet $1 million that I wouldn't be a YouTuber. It makes no sense. But I have, hyper obsession, and I love this. And, you give it enough time, anyone can solve it.
Well, there's a lesson in that for people, really. Like if you do have a hyper obsession to something, there's a lot of people that think that because they're bad at school or because they're not interested in school, that they're destined to be a loser. Yeah. And that's not true. The problem is school is too rigid. Like regular public school system, sit down, underpaid teacher, disinterested, not really connected with the work. You're not connected with it. You just can't wait to go home and do what you like to do.
Exactly.
And you get this thought in your head like, oh my God, I'm going to be a loser. I mean, that's how I was when I was in high school. I thought I was going to be a loser.